What's going on, everybody? It's KBR Sports, the best sports podcast of your 24-hour day. I'm your host, Brendan Abbott, coming to you on a Saturday afternoon. Hopefully everybody's out and enjoying themselves, even though I do know it depends on the place you're at, because some places I hear the winds are up to about like 50 miles per hour, and they're literally trees being knocked down. People are losing power over the high wind, so hopefully everybody's staying safe wherever you're at. Make sure you stay indoors, be in the basement, wherever you got to be at, because I even heard some people's ceilings got taken off. So the weather is crazy depending on where you're at. So hopefully everybody's staying safe. But you already know how the intro goes, everybody. Make sure you follow and subscribe to the KBR Sports Podcast. We're going to Rabble TV, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. That way you will receive email notifications whenever the KBR Sports Podcast is streaming live or whenever a new episode is posted for you all to tune into. Also, don't forget to follow the KBR Sports Twitter page at KBR_sports with the live links and show topics tweeted prior to every single show. And don't forget that you should also comment, like, and share the KBR Sports Podcast. One, to get your feedback and get your opinions in on anything I might be talking about on the show, or if you have any questions that you want me to address on the show, make sure you comment, like, and share the KBR Sports Podcast. That way I will see your notification, and also so that you can show your support for the show, because I always appreciate all the followers of this show and everybody showing their support for the show, and I always appreciate you all, and I try to improve the show based on what you all ask of me doing the show. So make sure you all go and do that so I can definitely be involved with the whole KBR sports community. But y'all, today's going to be a different kind of show because we have two guests on with us today. And one of our guests, he's the CEO and owner of the Hampton Warriors basketball team. His name is Mr. Demetrias Page. Everybody, let's give him a round of applause for that. Let's give him a round of applause. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. There we go, everybody. There we go. There you go. And then our other guest, he's actually one of the key contributors on the Hampton Warriors basketball team. His name is Deshaune Green. His nickname is Wild Thang, and you know that means he brings out a lot on the court. So let's give him a round of applause also. There we go. There we go. Let them know you love him, guys. Let them know you love him. All right, everybody. So Demetrias, welcome to the show. Deshaune, welcome to the show. I appreciate you all joining me today, fellas. How are you all doing today?
I am well. Thank you very much for inviting us to your show.
I'm doing well. I thank you as well for inviting us to the show.
All right, thanks, y'all. I appreciate you guys joining us. So, for those who don't know you guys, I mean, let me give them some background on your team. And so, the Hampton Warriors basketball team is a part of the East Coast Basketball League. And I'm pretty sure, Demetrias, you can give me more background on the team. So, can you give me some background on the team and yourself, as to how you became the CEO and owner of the team?
Well, I thank you very much. My name is Demetrias Page. I am from South Bend, Indiana. I actually joined the Navy and retired from the Navy in 2009, and I decided to reside here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, because of how much fun it is here. Now, 2010 is when I started doing basketball professionally. I was the general manager for the Seven City Knights, and we had a great basketball team. We started in 2016, and I found it to where I wanted to be able to bring professional basketball back to the Hampton Roads area and make sure it's here to stay, because we had the Virginia Squires here from 1970 to 1976. They made it fun, they made it exciting, and we're here to carry that tradition on as well. Now, the East Coast Basketball League comprises of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and the two teams in Virginia, which are rivals, us and the Petersburg Cavaliers. And we travel down south every weekend to have a basketball game. And it's fun and exciting. The East Coast Basketball League is one of the more reputable leagues that are in the United States. They hold teams to their responsibilities of being professionals at its finest. Now, as myself being the owner of the Hampton Warriors, comprising the team consists of players from this area mainly, but we also have players from Chicago, Pennsylvania. These guys, they all have came into what we're going for, and what we're going for is to bring professional basketball back to this area with a family-oriented theme for all to enjoy. Now, a little bit about myself. I love going to the Judeo Outreach Center and giving back to them, whereas it could be clothes, it could be food, and just going and talking to the parents and their kids that are there. A lot of the kids there are interested in basketball, and I tell them the first part of basketball you want to think about is using your mind and your education, because there's a part of them and there's a possibility that you may not play basketball. So the first and most important thing for you to understand is using your mind to be successful. And I instill that in every single student that I talk to, mentor, or come across when I'm going to the Judea Outreach Center. I also like to go around. We have the people that are homeless, and I like to go around. When God permits me, I also want to give them money, and also stay there and I talk with them, because a lot of them have problems, and people are just looking at them like, no, get away from me. You're poor,
yeah,
or you're out here. And you can't do that, because these people have feelings, they have lives, they walk on 2 feet just like you do.
Yeah.
And I have it's not a phrase, but what goes up must come down. And if you treat people down, if you treat people bad, where you are up here, it's going to come back to you, because God's not going to allow you to be like that.
Yeah.
And I always go around and I shake their hand, I pray with them, I let them know whatever you're going through, you trust and believe in God, He's going to make it better for you. And I'll tell them, I can't tell you that it's going to be better, because it's up to you to make the situation better. And I'll sit there, I'll talk with them. If they want to go get something to eat, let's go get something to eat and talk. Like, there's a McDonald's right there, let's go eat.
Yeah.
But my ultimate goal is to impact someone's life every single day if the Lord permits me to get a chance. I'm actually studying to be a minister, and that I've come a long way to that point right there.
So let me ask you this question. 'Cause I see you're a father, you're a retired veteran, this aspiring minister, philanthropist, community activist, the whole nine. I mean, it's a lot of titles that a lot of people can ask, like, how does he manage it all? So, like, how much of your time do you say you would allocate to fulfilling all those responsibilities, as well as how much time do you spend towards all the everyday happenings involving the team?
Okay, the great thing about that is team runs itself. My daughter Latasha Greer, she's the COO, and also Nikki, she's the media director. Those two right there, I don't have to do anything, because they'll just let me know what's going on. So with that being said, if I'm not at work, most of my time, which is in the evenings, that's when I get to devote that time to mentoring the young men and women, or going to the Judea Outreach Center and speaking with the parents and the kids there. So I would say at least 4 to 5 hours in the evening, I'll be able to occupy my time trying to encourage someone.
Got you. Okay, so what is essentially, because I know that you're really big on the community. From everything you've been telling me, I mean, you're really huge on community and helping people and giving back to the community. So how was pretty much the community influence, what the driving force was between your inspiration to own this basketball team?
The influence and the drive to want to own this basketball team is talking to the community, saying how there's no professional basketball here, and it used to be here, and they miss watching it. And people are like, okay, when are we going to have a professional basketball team here? Not to mention speaking with the young men who were saying, hey, Mr. Page, man, can you put another basketball team together? Because I used to do tournaments here, and they're like, well, why not put a professional team here? Let's get it, keep it here to stay.
Yeah.
So the biggest drive that I have is from the community talking to me continuously about seeing if we could get a professional basketball team here. That's what my drive was. And listening to the people, God truly blessed me, because I went from being the general manager of a basketball team to the acting CEO to a basketball team, to owning my own team. And our first year was last year, and it didn't go smoothly, but it went. And that we set our foundation and built our ground basis for what is going to become something for the Hampton Roads for the Hampton Roads area and all to enjoy for years to come.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think, I remember when I used to live down there in that area, I think there was a time period when it was rumored that the Sacramento Kings could possibly move down there. And a lot of the buzz was about people wanting a team, a team that they can go watch locally and be around and be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach area that's pretty close and local to the area. So it's cool to see that you've essentially filled that void with this team.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And with your platform, that helps us even that much more to bring awareness to our professional basketball team here in this area. And that just, you don't know how much that I very much so appreciate what you're doing for our area, what you're doing for the Hampton Roads Warriors. It definitely will go a long way. And you know you have to come when you have some time to one of our home basketball games.
Of course.
Just sit with us.
Of course. I would love to. So I got another question. This is going to be like a two-sided question. It's going to be one from the owner and managerial perspective of things. Then I'm going to get Deshaune's answer on this one as well, because I want to know, a lot of times I think what happens in sports is that fans want the behind the scenes experience. People don't know what goes on in everyday team operations. People don't know what players have to do to get themselves to be good enough to play on a semi-pro level, on a collegiate level, on a they don't know all the time that goes and that's invested into that and what the mental approach is to those kind of things. So what would you say is your approach to the season as the owner of the team, and what kind of responsibilities would you have that might not be common knowledge to the everyday person?
Okay. My approach to this season and what they don't see behind the closed doors is I have to make sure that we have a running, functioning organization, whereas we have a home venue set in stone. We have to make sure we have the officials in stone. We have to make sure that we have the money in place to make sure we have that season, which means I have to go throughout the whole Hampton Roads area and talk to potential sponsorships, small and big businesses, and pitch our family-oriented thing for all to enjoy with the Hampton Roads Warriors, to make sure that they understand this is not just a money, we're trying to get your money. This is something that we're trying to make sure all enjoy for years to come. And we have to do the tryouts. We have to get players committed. We have to make sure these players understand that this is a stepping stone for you guys, because we don't expect them to stay here. We expect them to be successful here and then move on to further their careers with either the G League, overseas, or if they are that good, then get a tryout for the NBA teams. That's our goal right there, for them to pursue better deals for basketball, ergo getting paid to play, which is something that they enjoy doing.
Okay, and so what would you say, because it seems like the family orient, I feel like I kind of have the answer, but I want to make sure it's clarifying. So it seems like the culture and environment that you've envisioned for this team is a family oriented thing where you guys are all together in it. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's really, like, it really brings in the community. Like, it makes you feel like you essentially have like a Golden State Warriors kind of feel to your team, essentially, right?
Exactly. I just want everyone to enjoy what we're doing from the community. The community is our extended family. The Warriors is our immediate family. And we're here to make sure our extended family is enjoying everything that the Warriors are doing, whether it's community service, whether it's a basketball game. Wherever we are, you're there with us to have fun and enjoy everything.
Okay, so now, Deshaune, let me move to you from a player perspective. Let me get your take on how you approach the season, because a lot of people, there's a lot of young kids out there, a lot of young males, a lot of teenagers out there, and even females also, that want to know how can they improve their game, and what is the approach that a player like you that contributes to the team and is a big part of the team, how do you approach each season?
Hey, how you doing? First and foremost, I approach it by trying to get everybody involved, getting everybody motivated, letting the guys know it don't, since we do have there's a few young guys on the team or whatnot, and being that I know what it takes, I'm here to put a few guys under my wing to try to get down far as preparing for the game, far as the contest or even practice, and just getting everybody to talk and be on one accord for the common goal to win the championship. Because I feel, being that how Mr. Page is rebranding the team and stuff like that, I feel like it's very vital, very important for us to win ball games, to get the community involved and things like that. So as far as like it's key with me, I just want to get everybody chemistry, get everybody on the same page, so when we do go out on the court on game days. Like the cohesiveness, the chemistry, everything is all on board. And I feel like we'll win, more people come out, and just everyone stands prepared. Every single player do their part on outside of practice by working out, whether it's a mile or
Definitely. Okay, so then because it sounds like from what you're telling me that you're literally one of the biggest leaders on the team. So how hard is it to fulfill that position of being a leader? Because it's a position not a lot of people like to assume on themselves because it comes with a higher level of responsibility.
It's not really, I wouldn't even say it's challenging, because like even I always had that leader championship mentality, because I was born into a basketball team when I was like 6-7 years old, the Horseman Panthers, and like them group of guys, we all grew up to like our coach, like we all had a responsibility, like everyone, like it was already ordained, it was already installed in us to have responsibility or whatnot. And we was on the same rec and AAU team, but everyone that was on those same teams, the high school team or the middle school team, it seemed like there was the leader of their team. But as far as me, I went to Ashton North High School in Portsmouth, Virginia. A lot of guys that I grew up with, all of us was still like on the same team, so we was always like leading each other. As far as I say, once everyone gets to talking, as far as with the team now, it's everyone's responsibility to do their job. Like if someone needs to lose weight, it's their responsibility to get in shape to help the team so they can lose weight. If someone who's our shooting guard, if they've been struggling or whatnot in practice, it's their job, they go get extra shots up.
Yeah.
Even as for me, I know I'm a relentless rebounder. I can work on some drills to get more explosive, to get more stronger, or go grab a guy like, hey, let's go get some shots up, even if it's at 11, 12 o'clock at night. If it's a place where we can go get in the gym, I'm all on hard work, dedication, and always improving my game.
Okay, yeah, definitely. From what I've seen of your game, you're definitely a two-way player who's very comfortable in the post and around the elbow area, but you can also step out and knock down the long ball. So, I mean, in this new age of players where you're seeing more hybrid players, who is the inspiration behind your game, having the in and out game?
I have to say Scottie Pippen.
Big Scotty.
I have to say Scottie Pippen. Also mixed in with far as the energy, Dennis Rodman. And my favorite player of this new age, I have to say Carmelo Anthony.
Okay.
That's why I like the mid-range so much. So I studied those guys, and once people started saying I was looking like Scottie Pippen, I said I might as well go like see how Scottie Pippen play. Or people say I got the high energy like Dennis Rodman. I need to go see what like little things that he do to keep him on the court. Cause those players they had like Michael Jordan and things like that. So people like on the outside don't really know about the basketball and what it takes for basketball. Like those players was the key ingredients for them to win the ball game. But you need those people that are willing to go through a brick wall for their coach.
Yeah. Okay. And see that part of it. Give me some background on that, because a lot of people, they only see what you do on the court. And a lot of times I feel like it gets marginalized because people don't know how much time you put in behind the scenes playing and working on your game. So how much time would you say you dedicate to the game of basketball and improving your game?
Well, I'm 27 years old, and since I started playing at the age of 5-6 years old, I've been dedicating my whole life to basketball. I've had like adversity times where I had to sit the ball down, but even when I wasn't in the gym, I was always doing something to improve my game, whether I just started doing yoga, or I'll start even on my own. If it's feeling nice outside, I'll go run a mile or two. I have like dumbbells and stuff like that. I always just always find some ways to be better, because I have a drive with myself. I can never be complacent. I never want to settle for nothing. Because being that I have a 7-year-old son, I don't want to never see him see me settling. And I'm trying to be a role model for him, not only him, for all the kids out here in the world.
Wow.
I want to be an inspiration. I want to be like that motivator person or whatnot. Because I felt like where I come from and where I'm at now, basketball has basketball, he got me there, all the way down to receiving my master's degree right now at Old Dominion.
Wow, that's awesome. That's honestly like a great just reason and personal motivation. And I mean, me personally, I mean, I know that because I'm an alum of ODU and rep the Monarchs. And I know how tough it is to try and balance the school and this everything else outside of school, let alone a master's degree and a family. I mean, how hard is it to really balance the basketball schedule with the personal life, then the education life?
Well, at first it was kind of hard, and I had to sit down, and I really honestly had to pray and ask God, and He told me I had to I just had to sit basketball now. There were times where I know I want to go to the gym, but I had to be a father at times, or times where someone in my family would maybe struggling or something. So I'd be like, well, I can't go to the gym this day. So I'll go the next day, or I stay up 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and maybe doing 200 crunches, 200 push-ups. I just find always on the basketball side, I'll find ways just to keep my muscles moving, keep my body flowing, so I don't get stiff, or so I just don't completely get out of shape.
To keep the competitive edge.
And master's grad school, it opened my eyes up to the business side of everything, as far as what I want my purpose to be outside of basketball, and that's as far as being having my own business, as far as with skill development, and not only skill development, because there's always student athlete first, so I also want to help and get different programs in there, as far as the STEM program to help kids that may not like math, but they like technology with computers, or they might not like technology, but they like science, or they like engineering, they want to be an entrepreneur or something like that. And I feel like since I got in the grad school program, I feel like I done met different people, networking, different resources or whatnot. If I don't have the knowledge of it, I'm sure to God be the glory, He'll lead me in the right way to find somebody to help the next young man if they really want to do something great with themselves, or the next want to do something great with themselves. And just being an overall friend and good person.
Yeah, like a big brother.
I trust in God first and let Him lead the way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely respect that. I mean, I like it too. I mean, it's cool. It's always a lot of people, I don't think they get that other side of it too, that you can make a business out of an athletic career, or in your pursuit of an athletic career, you can make your own business and brand doing so. I think I have one big question I think a lot of people want to know the answer to, and you got to give me the straight up on it. How did you get the nickname Wild Thing?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm if you was to be around me and stuff like that, because in this age, I'm 27 years old, and I grew up in a town where, social media big now, fashion big now, communication and stuff like that big now. So when people meet me now, I have that energy, not a wild person, but that fun, outgoing, energetic, and that's everywhere I go. Even if something may be going on in my life, I like to make everybody else happy and fun and stuff like that. So I just have that energy, that spirit, that I just don't like to be bored. But when I was young, I was really uncoordinated. and at 7 or 8 years old, my coach and stuff, they used to say, I'm hell when I'm well, but I stay sick all the time. Meaning I probably get a steal or something like that, and I travel, or I may get a rebound or something like that, and fall, or it'll just be something. They'll be like, man, he just wild, he just all over the place. And then it just stuck with me as Wild Thing. And as I grew up, my attitude as far as on the court, it wasn't a bad attitude. It was more so a hurt, pain, grind, wanted to be successful. I grew up in the projects and stuff like that. And my mom was a single mom, and my little sister, and as far as my grandma, she helped raise me. I just always nobody wasn't go outwork me. I was gonna always outwork the next person, even if it had to take for me diving in the stands, maybe knocking somebody with popcorn over or something like that.
Yeah.
I just always wanted to be better than my opponent.
So I actually have a question about that. So when you have that all around, because it sounds like you have the all around hustle and effort for the game, but you've always been one of the primary options on your teams that you've played on. So how much tougher is it to play with that elevated role and the higher levels of competition? How much tougher is it to play against that tough competition when you're the focal point of a lot of the defensive assignments from the other team?
First part is staying in shape, because you can't, like, when you out there talking, hustling, doing all that, like, fatigue can definitely set in. So the first part, getting my mind prepared for, I'll say, like, far as football, like with football, running back, he knows he's going to take all the hits, even way before, weeks before. Anybody that play football, they know they're going to take the hits. Basketball is this physical, but a football sport is a very, very contact sport. So just getting my mind ready for the battle, for all the running, for all the talking, because I'm a big talker. So I have to get in my body. Like, it's all about your body. Like, if you, and I was just learning about this in school, as far as energy balance, as far as what you put into your body. Like, that's what your body gonna put out. Like, if you put good stuff in your body go, like, produce good stuff. If you put bad stuff in your body not gonna perform the way you want it to.
Yeah, you are what you eat.
Yeah, so since I got older, I just been basically keeping my mind, my body, my career right, and just staying in shape. Like, that's the most part. And as far as on the basketball side, actually, the IQ of the game, I just like finding all the open spots. Like, if you can find the open spots into the defense, whether they run a zone, as far as if they running a man, I feel like the screen are always open. I was always told that. I was always learned that as growing up. Like, if you make a good screen, I promise you'll be open. And that haven't let me down to this day, even at the professional level. I played in the Premier Basketball League. I was a good screener, and every time, even in college, like, it was times our coach, if we set a screen and the point guard know we open, the coach here wanted the point guard to throw the ball at us, and the ball, 9 times out of 10, go hit us slam in the face. So, because he wanted to let us know that you're going to be open every time. Follow what the coach said, or you follow the system.
Okay, so then I guess as a wrap up for it all, Deshaune, with the season and everything going on, what do you like the most about your team right now? And what are you most confident about with your team?
We getting better. I see every practice, even the one game, how we bounce back from the game. I just feel like we getting better. And each game, each practice, as long as we getting better, moving to upward elevational aspect of the team and the organization, I feel like we'll be fine. I think that's the most that I'm happy about, that we getting better, because we got a bunch of young guys and we have a few guys, just like little tweaks of like bars, plays and stuff like that. But once we get more consistent practices and once everybody start talking and being collectively a team and communicate, I feel like we will be great. All
right. Well, thanks, Deshaune. I also thank you to Demetrias. I appreciate both of you all. Guys, let's give them a standing round of applause. I appreciate you all joining us on the podcast and everything. The great interview. Also, you guys, you can tell them, where can everybody find out more information? Because I know the website is www.HamptonRoadsWarriorsBasketball.com. But if anybody else wants to find more information, Demetrias, where can they find that information at?
They can also go to our Facebook fan page, Hampton Roads Warriors Facebook fan page. They can also go to our Twitter account, Hampton RD Warriors. Those are some of the best ways to contact us.
All right. Well, thanks once again, fellas. Thank you. I appreciate having you all on the podcast. Hopefully we can do this again sometime soon. And hopefully good luck on the season. And, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off if you said something. What did you say?
No, I was just saying thank you very much for having us on here. And hopefully you'll be able to have some time to come check out one of our basketball games.
I definitely plan on doing that in the future. Definitely.
I appreciate you for having me as well. And I appreciate Mr. Page as well for allowing me to be out here along with Miss Nikki.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely thank you for coming on, D.
All right, everybody. That's going to be it for the KBR Sports Podcast. Remember, you all can follow and subscribe to the KBR Sports Podcast. We're going on Rabble TV, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. That way you'll receive email notifications whenever the KBR Sports Podcast is streaming live and whenever a new episode is posted. Also, don't forget you can follow the KBR Sports Twitter page at KBR_sports with the live links and show topics to tweeted prior to every single show. And finally, remember to also comment, like, and share the KBR Sports Podcast just to give your thoughts and opinions on any topic I may have talked about, or to also give some feedback on anything you heard Demetrias or Deshaune say that you want to give some extra background and your thoughts and opinions on. Make sure you comment, like, and share on the podcast. So once again, everybody have a great Saturday afternoon.